Your move.
What is going on, you guys? Bashtian here, and today I'm coming at you with the Albaz Shaddoll deck profile. Now, last week we were actually able to go ahead and take a look at what the Albaz Strike Structure deck would look like, which if you just play 3 copies of the deck. But there are, of course, going to be multiple different ways you can go ahead and play this deck, and this is going to be one of the best of the bunch. After this is also going to be doing a Despia and Albaz Strike. We do place a few Despia cards in here just because they do synergize extremely well with the whole archetype. However, this is more of a Shaddoll based strategy, so you can go ahead and still play cards like Winda and Construct to go ahead and beat over any of your opponent's monsters that may be just a little bit pesky or get in the way. But the overall best strategy is most likely going to be the Despia and Albaz strategy, which I'll be go ahead and posting soon. Most likely on Wednesday. This will probably go up on Monday, but I'll see how that happens when we get to that time. But right now we're just gonna go ahead and go through the Albaz Shaddoll deck profile, guys. Let me know what you guys think, and we're gonna start off with the monsters. Starting off with the monsters, guys, we play a small Despia package, of course, starting off with Dramaturge of the Despia. This card is fantastic interruption for your overall deck. I mean, essentially, you are going to be using a lot of cards from your deck to fusion something. You don't even need to have this card in your hand, per se. However, it is going to come up very likely that you are going to be able to go ahead and search this card with just some of the other cards that you have in this current deck. But I think Dramaturge of the Despia is definitely a must-have one of in this deck. Next, we play 3 of the most overhyped card. I don't want to say overhyped because I don't think that's accurate. I want to say Konami just really got us with this one, and I think Kali Effect had a really good point when he was telling us to buy it for that low rate. I think it was when he first uploaded the video, you know, buy these cards. It's going for what, like $30-$40, and then it shot to like $150, and then a week or 2 weeks ago when the reprint was announced, it dropped dramatically to now only being $60-$70. So a lot of people did take L's on that one, and you know what, I think that reinforces my theory. Any card over $30 is trash until it becomes $30 or less. So there you go. But definitely gonna have to play triple Albaz Shaddoll Despia. I'm probably not gonna be building this deck until the reprint comes out, just realistically, but it does seem really cool. But definitely gonna play triple Albaz Despia, just overall boost your consistency in deck that much more, and overall just a phenomenal card, definitely worthy of having that high price range. I don't know about 150, but when you want to play the best deck in the format, you definitely gotta make sure that you are ready to essentially spend that dough. Just gonna lay that out there. And it's gonna be it for the Despia cards that we're gonna be playing in the deck. Like I said, small Despia packages because it is extremely useful to search your branded fusion. Next, for the Dogmatica package, we play 1 Dogmatica Fleur de Lis. Again, really good card, amazing interruption as well. 1 Maximus, and then 2 Ecclesia. I didn't want to play any more than this because then it becomes just a bit too bricky, and I don't want it to be just a Dogmatica card. Essentially, what top decks are really looking like now is just a whole bunch of engines slapped together. I mean, if you look at the top prank kids, base is just a whole bunch of engines, and it's kind of seeming to where if you want to build a top tier deck, you are going to have to just essentially invest into all these different engines just to go ahead and make yourself as competitive as possible, unfortunately. But this is probably going to be the, I guess, correct way to deck building just in the near future. So anyway, Dogmatica package. Next we move on to the Shaddolls. So we play 1 Shaddoll Beast, 1 Shaddoll Dragon, 1 Shaddoll Squamata. It feels weird not playing more than 1 Squamata in a Shaddoll deck, but you know, it is what it is. 1 Ariel, 1 Wendy, and 1 Hedgehog. I know I kind of went out of whack a little here, but I did want to go ahead and skip out on these 2. So Fairy Tale Snow is a phenomenal card in this deck because you can pretty much put it into your graveyard turn 1 with Branded Fusion. So it's really good. You don't need to play cards like Foolish Burial or anything like that. This is really easy to go ahead and get into the graveyard, and then is immediately accessible turn 1. Any deck that can do that in Snow is a phenomenal card. I think is definitely worth playing. And then the only reason to play the Light Hex Sealed Fusion is because it gives us access to Dragoon for free. You don't need to play Dark Magician, you don't need to play Red Eyes Black Dragon, and you don't need to play Red Eyes Fusion. You can easily summon this out with Branded Fusion. Extremely simple, and you don't even have to play any bricks. So, well, essentially bricks. It's still kind of a brick, but you can still use it as a fusion material in a fusion deck, so it's not a brick. Anyway, hand traps. Triple Lancia and then triple Ash Blossom. You can Ash the Branded Fusion, making Ash extremely powerful this upcoming format. It was already really strong and really good, but now that Branded is going to become pretty much the most highly represented deck, I believe in the next month or so. Deck comes out in like 2 weeks. Give people about a week or so to actually finalize your deck lists. I want to say Ash Blossom is going to be the most highly played hand trap by far. Because it stops Branded Fusion. So definitely triple Ash Blossom. You are gonna want to maximize out on this guy, and then, or this girl, I should say, and then triple of the Lancia, just because it again counters this deck, and a lot of decks are gonna be banishing from their graveyard, from their field, things like that. So you really want to go ahead and maximize your Lancia. Fluandries is still a top deck out there. You have to watch out for. Stops that as well, and just a whole bunch of other decks as well. Stops DDD, stops the Phantom Knights. It hinders Prank Kids, but not really. You can pretty easily play around it, but it's overall probably the two most impactful hand traps in the I guess next format, not just yet, but next format. But that's gonna be it for the monsters, guys. On to the spells. We play 2 Nadir Servant. It is at 2. No one play any more than that. Well, we can't. And also helps you access your Dogmatica package as well. For the Branded, triple Branded Fusion, self-explanatory. Triple Branded Opening, again, self-explanatory. Lets you add Despia monsters. With this, you can add Aluber or your Dramaturge. I still have so much trouble with these names. And then your 1 Branded in red. Again, more fusion cards. Just go ahead and let you pretty much go clean off. You don't need to play Polymerization in this deck, which I think is fantastic, because it has so many in-engine searchable fusion cards. I know a deck like Prank Kid or a deck like Shaddoll, you might play a few polymerizations here and there, maybe a Super Poly. Super Poly will definitely be a fantastic side deck card, especially in this deck, but we'll get to that, you know, when the format arrives. I'll disclose a better side deck options. 1 El Shaddoll Fusion, not really need any more than that. Triple Shaddoll Fusion, in the event you do go second, you are able to still go clean off and fusion summon from your, again, deck. Triple Power Prosperity, consistency is going to be so key in this deck, and playing multiple different engines, I do worry about only seeing one or the other. So you are, I do recommend you play Power Prosperity if you have that in your budget. If you do not, there are alternative options. You can go ahead and just play hand traps in this slot, or you can play triple Dogmatica Punishment with 1 Upstart Goblin to give you the 40 cards, or 41 cards I should say. 1 Dogmatic Punishment, and then 1, of course, Shaddoll Schism. Any Shaddoll deck, Schism is going to be a fantastic card. You can, again, easily turbo this card out turn 1, and then have it ready with already a Dragoon and maybe another fusion, like a Winda, already on your field. That's why I think this deck is fantastic, because you can back up Winda with Dragoon, and you can do this all with 1 card, and it's just absolutely insane. Really good. For the extra deck, guys, we're going to play 1 of the Guardian Chimera. This card actually skyrocketed in price as well. I remember I was just telling my buddies that we should go ahead and pick this up when it was $18. Literally like a week or 2 weeks ago. I think actually 3 weeks ago, maybe longer, but we should have really picked up this card back when it was 18 bucks. Definitely missed the ball on that. I think now it's like between 40 and 50, at least the time of recording this video. And then you play, of course, your 1 Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Definitely necessary at this point. At any time that you can make Dark Dragoon for free, essentially, I believe is still a card that is extremely menacing. At the last locals I went to, I got absolutely clapped up by Dragoon. I did not see that coming. I thought that card was dead. And now that I have faced it again, I have been rejuvenated with immediate hate for this card. But if you can play it, you know, why not? Then you play, of course, your 1 Mirror Jade and your 1 Lubellion. A lot of people are cutting Lubellion and playing just the 1 Mirror Jade. I think having a diversity is going to be a little bit more beneficial for you in the long run. But that's just my opinion. Double Construct, I kind of have this out of whack as well. Double Construct, just because it's probably one of the best, the second best Shaddoll fusion ever. Double Op Cologne, Double Winda for your Shaddoll fusions. Then for the rest of the fusions, you want to play one Albion, the Branded Dragon. This is how you're gonna be, this is where you're gonna be fusing with your Hex Sealed fusion to go into the Dragoon, so definitely not necessarily mandatory. Also, it's a free fusion summon as well, so it gives you that, gets your engine going that way as well. One of the Titanic Clad. Titanic Clad is going to be fantastic for resource managing, get into the graveyard, lets you search in the end phase. And the last one I believe is going to be your Despian Quaritchus. Now this guy is strictly in here for when you're going to be pushing for game, OTKing, pretty much turn the attack of all monsters on the field to 0 except for level 8 or higher fusion monsters, which is pretty much going to be your entire extra deck except for I believe Winda. Everything else should be level 8 or higher. So you pretty much have all your fusion monsters, all your opponent's monsters at 0 attack, and you just punch for game. And even if it goes to the graveyard, it still lets you get back when falling off Albaz or Despian monster from your deck. So either way, it replaces itself and just has such good resource management. And honestly, that's what I really just love about the Fallen of Albaz deck overall, and as well as Despia. It seems like everything replaces itself and just leads onto something else. There's no end game essentially, which I really like. And then for the last card I want to play in the extra deck is going to be the one gravity controller for the strictly Shaddoll plays. In the event that you need to go ahead and get your construct into the graveyard, you still have that route as well. So do I think this is going to be top tier? Honestly, I think the Shaddoll Despia Albaz deck is going to be a solid tier 1.5, tier 2 contender. I don't think it'll be tier 1 exactly. I think there's going to be better variants of this specific deck moving forward. However, it is something that people are a lot more familiar with playing the Shaddoll package, so it may be the one that we see more of when the deck initially drops. But overall, I do believe the Despia Albaz deck is going to be by far the strongest deck in this upcoming format, and that's going to be coming up very soon. So if you are looking forward to that, go ahead and leave a like down below, subscribe for more videos. That's probably going to be the next video coming up available for you guys. Be sure you guys are ready picking up your structure decks. Make sure you pick up all the rest of your cards, because I'll be dropping out the content like it's hot. Anyway guys, I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next one.